Hey guys, welcome to this video. In this video, we're gonna take a deep dive into Snagit 2021, and I'm gonna show you a whole bunch of really cool visual manipulation tools that you can use and all the things that this thing does. So let's get into it. All right, so first off, what is Snagit? Basically, it is a all-in-one Army knife tool that does screen capture and recording, and it does a whole bunch of things that I'm gonna show you what it actually does. Now, one of the cool things that it does is it helps to systemize your processes. So it makes explaining something very easy and visual so that people can understand it and get to know it really well. So I'm going to go through a lot of these different things because a lot of people actually who use Snagit, even for years, don't know how to use some of these different features, and it's going to be really cool. So I'm just going to overview some of the features that we have right now. Obviously, it does screen capture and recording. So whether that's an image or whether that's a video, it also does panoramic capture. So you can scroll a page either widthwise or, as you know, in the case of like a long sales letter, you can horizontally scroll and capture the whole thing. They're big into templates, so you can actually systemize your processes. In business, this is called systems and procedures, right? Where you can make standard operating procedures or SOPs that basically make it easy to delegate tasks, right? And as you know, as a business owner, you want to delegate as much as possible. I'll show you how I delegate using Snagit a little bit later. You can create video from images, so you can talk over a series of screenshots. Almost that's like a mini PowerPoint video that you can do really quickly. There's a simplify tool, which basically simplifies everything and kind of focuses you on the right way. Annotations and a step tool, grab text, a whole bunch of other stuff like that we'll get into. So the screen recording a webcam, recording your iOS screen, creating GIFs, a whole bunch of stuff. All right, so let's get into it, and I'll show you a little bit about how it works. Okay, so basically there's two areas to this. There is the manipulator here, or where you go and create your images and do your stuff. Then there's the library where you store your images. And then there is in the taskbar this recording area. So if we're going to go back into the editor for a second, I'm just going to talk about this recording area right here. Now, what I like about this is it sits in the menu tray. And by the way, this is a Mac, but Snagit works perfectly as well on a Windows program. Windows machine. So what's nice about it is it's cross-platform, and it's always good to have cross-platform, really solid, programs that can do that stuff. So they basically have the all-in-one, which can do video or images, or you can do the image or the video. And there's some different options for this. Let me just talk about video for a second. So the difference for video is you can record a region, right? So if I only wanted to record a certain region of the screen or a full screen, I could do that. This would be automatic share, and you can share to all these different places, including AirDrop and Screencast, and we'll get into that. And then you can either turn the webcam on or you can turn it off, right? So you can not record the webcam if you want. It's up to you. If you have different webcams set up, you can select them, of course. So we're going to turn that off for now. And you can capture the cursor or not. So it would show the cursor, recording microphone on or off, and recording system audio on or off. So I'll tell you what this is good for. So if I'm actually recording, my son was actually featured on the CBC broadcast, a sports broadcast. And so I wanted to record the whole thing, right? So it was streaming on the internet. So I turned off the microphone. Okay, and I left the system recording on, and then I captured. And if there's one tool that you can rely on to record like a 2+ hour event, sporting event, and get the whole thing flawlessly, it's Snagit. So that's what I did. So I basically went and full screen, microphone off, and then I pressed capture, and then I just basically go like that, and then find the stream. and it would record the whole thing flawlessly for me, okay? And then when I'm done, I can just click, stop recording, and it'll open up in the editor. That's what I use for that, right? And so you can see that it recorded this right here. Obviously there's no sound because I turned off the microphone in this recording. And you can also take an image here and make it into a PNG or make it into a GIF, right? So you can make the whole thing into a GIF or GIF, however you want to call it, and boom, that's done, okay? Now, while we're still on the topic of video recording, you can also record on your iOS device. And what I like about this is there's a special iOS device that's app, I should say, that's free that you can record it to, and you connect it to your mobile device here. So it'll actually, on the device, you just load the device and then you take a picture of this particular QR code. And then you can actually share your recording directly to Snagit over your Wi-Fi network. So what's cool about that is, I did this a little bit earlier. So this is an actual recording that I took from my phone. So it comes right to your, and this is just a demo recording. I just kind of went into an app here and then I turned it off. But what's cool is, and this will save you a ton of time, is you can send this right to your Snagit tray. So you can either export it and throw it in a video editing software. You can edit it right in Snagit, all that kind of stuff, and it's good to go. So I find this really helpful. Now, typically what I do is I will record, let's say, how I use videos most frequently on Snagit is I will actually record a video and then I will share it. And when you talk to sharing, you can share it to Google Drive, Dropbox, FTP, all this kind of stuff. So if you're sharing a lot of stuff, then you might want to set up an FTP, and you can configure that under preferences, but you can also share it right to Screencast. And if I'm sharing something short, you'll see that this progress bar is going to fill up and it's going to be sharing this video. So right now it's uploading it to Screencast. It's going to be available soon. Obviously this is a video, so it takes a little bit longer than sharing an image track, but it's going to leave it in your clipboard, right? So let's say I just explained how to do something on WordPress. I'm delegating it to my VA. My link to capture is ready to be pasted. So I can just go and paste that in. And there is the actual video, right, in my account. And if I'm sending an email off, I can just send this link right to my assistant and delegate it. And I do that a lot, okay? So that's pretty cool. The other thing that you can do is, this is optional, but they have assets. I'll get into this a little bit more. But basically, if you want stamps or anything that you can use in your videos, they have everything that you can possibly imagine. Let's just do a quick search for finance, and you can see all these different sets that you can draw into your Snagit images. They also have different themes and different photos. So like I can actually download this and boom, download it, and there I have that image without the watermark available for me, which I think is pretty cool. So all the royalty-free images, if you want to do something like that. So you can actually create little PowerPoints, just by using some images and then talking over them. And I'll get into how that works here in just a second. Let's say that you wanted to create a video from images, right? So let's say I had these images and I'm going to multi-select them, and then I'm going to combine them, and I'm going to go create video from images, right? So now I got a video here. I can actually record and say, and let's say I got these royalty-free images, but look how quick this is, right? So if you want to start a keto diet, here's the first thing you need to do is you need to understand about 10 to 20% protein, and this is recording the audio, mostly fat, blah, blah, blah. And then this should say carbs because this is someone else's graphic. But this is the third step, is avoiding breads and sugar, because bread is, the body treats bread essentially the same as sugar when it comes into the body. Boom. So I've actually just created a video now from these 3 images. Look how quick this is, right? So if you want to, and I can export that, right? So you can see how this is much faster than having to drag images into PowerPoint or something like that. Okay. So let me show you a little bit about the library. Okay. So the library they've got all these filters, which makes it really easy to find what you're looking for. You can filter it by, date modified, date created, name, the size, whatever you want. It also keeps track of your share history. Remember how I just shared that to Screencast? Well, here I can find the link again, so I don't even need to log into my account to find it again. I can open it or share the link, and I can see my history of what I've shared from inside Snagit. Okay. I can filter by images, by videos, by animated GIFs, by favorites. And what's also cool is you can filter by application. So I can see what images that I've taken from Brave, what images I've taken from, let's say, Safari, what screenshots that I've taken from, VLC, which I use to play videos, and Wondershare. And then of course there's tags if you want to do that. What I like about the library though, is it keeps all the files together. And as soon as you've taken a screenshot, it's stored on your computer. So you can always find that again, and you can find the most recent ones in this little tray here, and you can move back and forth in the tray. Okay. Now let me show you one thing. So I took this image in particular, and I left my cursor in the middle. And I don't know if you ever had that experience before, where you've left a cursor or a little, the hand icon in. Well, what Snagit does is it actually auto recognizes this. So you see these other images aren't selectable, but this one is, because it recognizes that this is something that people do often and they want to remove it. So I can just click on that, click delete, and now it's gone, which is really cool. So here's another example. This is a picture of the apple and the icons there, and you can just delete it and remove it, which is really, really cool. When it comes to image captures, of course you could do region, panoramic. I'll get into grab text. You can do full screen. You can do the web page, right? So if you do web page, it'll ask you for a URL and it will try to grab the whole web page. So that's one thing that you can do, and it will scroll through the whole web page for you, which I think is pretty awesome. Mission control. What this will do is it will open up, your other programs that are open, and I actually have mine set on a delay, but you see it opens all these different windows. So if you want to capture, let's say I wanted to capture my downloads, I can just do that from one of the open windows, which is really cool as well. And let's see what else we have here. So if you want to capture the webcam, you can just straight capture the webcam, and also menu. So there's a couple different ways to do this. So let's just search for a drop-down menu. Okay. All right. So you see, if you hover here, it shows the links, right? And this is something that people often have trouble capturing. So if I choose menu, I actually got the timer down, so I can actually just hover there and wait for the 3-second timer to get in there, and then I can just remove the cursor like I showed you how to do it. That's one way to do it. Or you can open the menu itself and then press the short code to capture the menu. Okay, so that is really cool and very easy to do, right? So let's capture that actually. Yeah, so let me capture it. Let me capture it just this way. I'm just going to do the region. Okay. So this is the other way to do it. And then of course I can remove this, and I've got the menu captured, right? And that works on all kinds of menus. Now, there's also the simplify tool. And what simplify does is it looks at the image and looks at the different colors and creates a color palette based on that. And so what you can do is you can actually, simplify things out. So if you want to talk about, this, whatever this is, it allows you to kind of simplify the image and, really kind of just illustrate what it is that you want to highlight. There's also auto simplify. I'm just removing this just to show you what it is, and it will kind of scan the image and then just kind of make it, like this, and then you can just kind of clarify the parts that you want, right? So if you want to highlight, link 1, you'll be able to do that. Of course, you can also throw things in like arrows and change the opacity of the arrow, change the width, change the style, and you can save these presets as favorites, right? So anything you save in here would be a favorite. So if there's a certain type of arrow that you like, and there's some different themes, then you can use that. Particularly, this is helpful with text, right? So this allows you to unify your text, and you can drag in text here, and I can say click here, right? So this allows you to do that. So if you want to use a different color, right? Your theme is a different color, then you can create that color, save that as a preset, and as you see, they've got a lot of different fonts in here that you can use, right? So you can make it really look your own, and particularly with the Snagit 2021 that's come out, they've really made that easy to do. Let me demonstrate something else. I'm going to demonstrate a callout. So a callout is basically where you're pointing attention to something. So maybe you got here and say, I like this set, right? And then you can send this to your developer, and move it around, however you want to do that. Shapes allow you to add in shapes, obviously. So it would look something like this. You can adjust this. Sorry, and then I'm going to go back to the move tool once I got it the right size, and then I'd be able to rotate it, move it around, however you want to manipulate that. Okay, so that's shape. So stamps, we talked a little bit about stamps. This is actually the stamps here. Let's go to a fresh screen here. So let's say you wanted to put a stamp on. You can put it on your image, a lock and unlock. You can search for whatever you want, and it's all good. And other than that, you can do fill, which allows you to fill your image, right? So you can kind of do a background. Move allows you to go back and move things around. There's simplify. Blur is a really nice one, right? So let's say we're on this image and I wanted to blur, and you can come here. So there's different types of blurring, but let's say that I wanted to, blur out this. I'll be able to do that, and then I can drop the intensity down a little bit. and basically blur any sensitive information, and then I'd be able to share it. Okay, so that's cool. Crop, obviously, you can crop things. That's pretty self-explanatory. Cutout allows you to, split these images and, put in different cuts here. Pen, again, allows you to draw on the image, so you can adjust the, what you're looking for. But let's say, you want to hand draw an arrow, you can do that, or draw whatever you want here. Little happy face guy, whatever you want. And highlighter, this allows you to highlight certain things. So if you want to kind of highlight this, you can do that. And of course, there's different colors for that. And then the eraser is pretty cool. Let me show you what magnify does. Magnify is really cool. So let's say you wanted to magnify this part of the image, right? So you want to focus on, the drop box, right? So it just kind of highlights that and, jumps right out of the image, right? So let's do another one over here. So let's say you were talking about, JPEGs, you can highlight it and, really kind of have your images stand out in a professional way. And of course you could, take away the outline, all kinds of stuff like that. Let me show you something else here. I'm going to show you the steps. I like to just do this if I'm just doing a quick image, and maybe I want you to, here, let's use this one. So maybe I want you to use the steps, right? So first, we'll use green. First, I want you to eat salmon, and then I want you to eat nuts. And the third thing that I want you to do is eat meat. I think this is really cool because it kind of drops it in, and then you could do like, A, B, or C if you want, 1, 2, 3. But it really helps clarify what you're trying to communicate, because ultimately, at the end of the day, Snagit is a communication tool, and it helps you communicate your ideas and your images moving forward. So a couple other things I wanted to show you. All right, so let's go to Screencast here. And this is all the images that I've shared to my Screencast account. So again, they're sortable by, you can make different folders, different projects, and it's sortable by, what are images, what are videos, all that kind of stuff. So you can store stuff up here and delegate it like we showed a little bit earlier. So let me show you one of the other cool features of Snagit that I think is really cool. We're going to combine some screenshots into a template, okay? So these ones here, we're gonna combine and then create an image from template. We already talked about creating video from the images, but let's say we wanted to do custom steps, right? So they have all these different templates that you can kind of drop your images in and make it look really professional. And let's just do this. So we're gonna call this keto diet. Okay. And then you can add your caption here. But let's say I wanted to do this one first. I thought it was more important to talk about the fat first, and then the protein, and then the sugar. So I'm able to kind of move them around. And right here, I've got basics of the ketogenic diet. It's already made these steps here, which you can come in, and then I can add here, a little bit of content, like, use of fat is super important. Tip about protein. And then third step was share on Facebook with your friends, right? So you can make these little processes of like, step one, do this, sign up for this hosting account, Step 2, download this plugin. Step 3, upload it, and you'll see that it's already got a date there. It looks pretty professional. Of course, you can change all this stuff if you want, but this kind of template, like I just made this in like seconds, right? Which is really awesome. I'm really happy with how that works. You can create your own themes. This is a tool, just broadly speaking, that I use an absolute ton. All right, so one of the other things that I want to show you about is some of these different effects. You can access the effects down here, and you can add a fade where it kind of fades out the edge of the image, and you can change the size of that fade, the intensity of that fade, and then click it, turn it off. You can do color filters, so you can put it in sepia if you want, and then just click it to turn it off. Reflection, so it almost has that reflection, which looks pretty polished. A lot of people use this for product covers. Perspective, where it's kind of on an angle, I guess you could say. Shadow, capture info. So this tells you the capture info of when this image was captured. Border, and then edges. You can see it's got like a torn edge around here. All right, one other thing I want to show you how to do is removing a background, okay? So I'm just going to show you how to do this. Image region, and I'm going to click select, and then I'm going to wait, and it's already pre-selecting the dimensions, right? Because it kind of senses that, and you'll see here that, oh man, I left in that little thing, little cursor, so that's easy to delete. And then when you go to Magic Wand, you can click here, and it will select all that background. I'm just going to make it a little bit less here, and then just kind of adjust it till it's pretty close, and then click delete. Okay, and so that's pretty good. So I can just select this area, click delete, a little bit more here, and I'm going to make it a little bit less. Now that I've just got this area, I can make it a little bit less sensitive, just to get rid of that. And then I can go to the eraser and just kind of clean up any of these areas. Or I can actually just select this whole area and then delete. So you can see how I'm just really, removing all the background here very quickly. Okay. And then of course you can also zoom in on these pictures, right? So zoom in, I can kind of touch up here. Maybe there's just a little bit, that I want to touch up. Oh, this is pretty good. Just gonna get that little part in there. And then I can go back. So that's gonna look like a perfectly removed background if I use that like on a YouTube thumbnail or something. And you see how I was able to do that very, very quickly using the Magic Wand. Hey there, so I was actually just doing post-production, doing the editing, and I realized I forgot one really, really key component of Snagit that I wanted to share with you, and that is the screen grab function. So I just have a PDF open here, and what Snagit can do is actually take an image and grab the text through OCR, where it recognizes what words are on the page and converts it into plain text. So I think it's really cool. I want to show you how it works here. So we're going to do an image region, and I'm just going to capture all of these paragraphs and sentences here. Okay, so now you see I've just got an image of part of a sales letter. This could be an image you took of a screenshot of a sales page. It could be part of a PDF like I did here. And then you can go to grab text, okay? and it's going to recognize all the text on this. And you can see here about, if you put what you learned into action, blah, blah, blah. Here's 3 good reasons why they know, like, and trust you. So that's right there. And then it's just got a little Y because it doesn't quite recognize the check mark, but everything else is, perfectly grabbed, so it's a great way to, if you ever want to transcribe maybe some images, you can make it plain text and it will just take out all the formatting for you, and then you can copy that and paste it and do whatever you want with it. So I thought that was a really cool feature. I don't know how I missed that in the original thing. Let's get back to the original review now. So this is actually a tool that I use at least multiple times a week. Sometimes I don't use it every single day, but I certainly use it every week. I've been using it every week for years. There were a whole bunch of things in Snagit that people just don't realize are in there because it's such a versatile army knife of a tool. I highly encourage you to, play around with it, because one of the nice things about Snagit is it replaces all these other tools. So you're not, finding things over here, finding things over there. It really streamlines your workflow and is one of those dependable tools that you can rely on. So personally for me, Snagit is, one of the first 2 or 3 softwares that I install on any new computer that I have, or if I reformat it or something, I need to get Snagit on there. I need to get Snagit on there quickly because I just use it so much. So if you have any questions, leave them below in the description, in the comments rather. And other than that, reach out to me. There'll be a link below if you want to try out Snagit. There is a free trial, and after that, it's really evenly priced software, incredible value. I personally highly recommend it. I've been a customer for years, and if you have any questions about Snagit, or you have some cool ways to use Snagit, leave it below in the comments. I'd be more than happy to see how you're using Snagit and check out what you're up to. So with that being said, I hope this video has brought tremendous value to you and you understand how you can really use that to create some really unique things moving forward for your business, and good luck. All right guys, so grab Snagit today. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments.